Hello, this is the Florida Aviation Network and I'm your host, Walt Schammel. We are broadcasting live and in the clear for the 40th year celebration of Sun & Fun, located at the Sun & Fun complex on the Lakeland Airport in Lakeland, Florida. Our guest today is KT. I'll stop at that point and ask KT a couple of questions, and then you'll find out more about her. KT, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. What an exciting day we are having here at Sun & Fun. Just now, just a few minutes ago, at Stallion 51's spot on the Warbird flight line, we drew the winner of the free flight in Stallion 51's Mustang Crazy Horse for the raffle that supports Angel Flight. This raffle's been going on since the first of the year. Hundreds of people have signed up, bought raffle tickets, and we just drew the winner, and his name is Jim Penn. And we called him, left a message on his answering machine. What a message he has, that he is the winner of that flight in Crazy Horse. Now, for maybe some of your viewing public doesn't know who Crazy Horse is, that is our dual cockpit, dual control P-51 Mustang that Stallion 51 operates from the Kissimmee Gateway Airport. We do orientation flights there, allowing people not only to experience the Mustang, but to take the controls and fly. And we this year partnered with Angel Flight and Angel Flight Southeast, Mercy Flight as well, to help promote their cause, raise funds for their cause, and make one person really lucky to win one of these flights. And as I say, we just culminated that raffle a half hour ago at Stallion 51's bus on the Warbird flight line for Jim Penn to win that flight. What an exciting day for him, and we can't wait to get that phone call back. He's going to be through the roof with excitement.
That's pretty exciting. But KT, I got one question. You and I know what the Angel Flight is, but does our audience?
Well,
Would you explain that?
I'm glad you asked that. Angel Flight and Mercy Flight work with private pilots to connect people with the medical appointments, doctor's appointments, medical procedures that they have to have and cannot get to. And so pilots donate their time, their talents, their airplanes, their fuel to help people get from point A to point B for life-saving appointments and procedures. And so every year they count on people to donate and raise money so that they can help support this worthy cause. And we partnered with them not just this year, but 2 years ago as well. Jim Jordan was the winner 2 years ago. Not only did he win a flight, but he was also one of Angel Flight's pilots. So how perfect that he got to have that flight on top of donating his time. Turns out that this fellow, Jim Penn, bought 6 tickets. There was 6 tickets for this raffle, and it wasn't his first ticket that won. It wasn't his third ticket that won. It was his 6th ticket that won this flight. So he's doing a great service to the people who need Angel Flight. He's helping those people who need the medical care, and he's helping the pilots who are donating their time and talent. So everybody wins, and we're excited about partnering with them. So much so, we're going to do it again next year.
And I see that you're wearing a blouse with Crazy Horse on it, and that's the airplane.
That's the airplane, and come out onto the flight line. We have 2 Crazy Horses there. You're not seeing double. We actually have Crazy Horse, the original, and Crazy Horse 2, which is the exact replica, or not replica, I should not use that term. It's the exact copy of Crazy Horse 1. They both are painted the same. And Lee will be flying Crazy Horse 2 today, both as the solo Mustang routine, which he does. It's like aerial ballet. It's unbelievably gorgeous and smooth. And then he'll be forming up with the F-22 Raptor and the P-38 Lightning for the very emotional heritage flight. Gets me verklempt every time when I see the old planes and the new planes flying over, and realizing that we have such a great heritage in aviation, and we're still remembering the past and honoring the new as well.
It's amazing to look at aviation history in just over 100 years. And it was actually less than 100 years from the first flight with the Wright brothers until we landed on the moon.
That is amazing. And what's even more amazing is that it was only like 2 years until they had the first air race. I believe all you have to do is make another of anything, a car, a horse, a plane, get 2 of any kind and they're going to race. And it was within a year or 2 of the very first flight that they had air races. Boys and their toys, it's always the case.
Yes, it is. And I could never tell from talking with you, but I suspect that your job with Stallion 51 involves a lot of promotion.
Well, yes, that's probably my official title, but I sort of think of myself as an ambassador. Trying to connect people with something that they've always enjoyed and wanted to do. Now, our doors are open to anybody at Stallion 51, as I say, located at Kissimmee Airport. Monday through Friday, people come in and pat the horses, the Mustangs, on a regular basis. We fly a lot of people on these orientation flights. We're busy year-round, and not only that, but also checkout training, because where else are you going to learn how to fly a multi-million-dollar Mustang than in a Mustang that has dual control and dual cockpit? Where else will you learn how to do that? These are $2 million airplanes. There are only maybe 150 left in the world. There's only 15 dual cockpit, dual control Mustangs, and we have 3 of them there. So that's the place that people come to get that kind of training. We also do the same with the T6, which is near and dear to my heart. My husband and I have a T6 that we fly, and we're pretty fond of that big lummox of a plane.
And it sure goes through gasoline in a hurry, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, they know how to make noise out of a little bit of gasoline, a lot of money.
That's it. Well, here in Central Florida, we see some of the advertising for Stallion 51, and when we drive up and down I-4 and we see the Kissimmee Airport, we see some of that. But you're picking up people internationally.
Oh, very much so. The Europeans love us. Well, we have great flying here. Florida is the best place in the world to come to learn to fly. That was a tradition back in World War II, when right before we got into World War II, there were only 6 air bases in Florida. 6. That's both Army Air Corps and Navy. By the end of World War II, there were hundreds of airfields here because we've got flat, we've got good weather, and everybody came here to fly. And that's the case today. We have a lot of Brazilians, a lot of South American pilots come to fly, learn to fly here. We have a lot of people from Europe coming to fly here because we've got good weather. It's terrific, and believe it or not, our fuel isn't all that expensive. So we're sort of a corridor of classic aviation. From Tampa all the way to Titusville, the corridor of classic aviation between Tyco and the Valiant Air Command, Stallion 51 there in Kissimmee, Kermit's amazing place at Fantasy of Flight, and then air shows at MacDill this time of year. This is the place that people come not only to learn to fly, but appreciate aviation's history, because it's all here.
For our audience, where can they go on the webpage to find out more information about Stallion 51?
Thank you for asking that. It's very simple, stallion51.com, www.stallion51.com. Facebook us, because I'm always posting really cool pictures and videos. Matter of fact, I often post the guys working on the planes, and you can see the gear swings and working and rebuilding engines by clicking on us on Facebook and keeping tuned in.
You mentioned you own a T6.
Oh yeah.
How in the world did you get involved in flying and then get the interest in T6?
Well, because we came to Kissimmee, and Kissimmee Airport is rich with vintage airplanes. When we came up here, we worked for Tom Riley Vintage Aircraft, which is right there at the Kissimmee Airport. Tom Riley built 10 B-25s, 3 B-17s, and a B-24, so you had a chance to not only fly the planes, but work on them as well. And he was a great source of information, a great source of opportunity, and he was a cornerstone of Kissimmee Airport. And Stallion 51's right next door, so when we moved up here to be part of that, it was only natural to want to have a warbird. And there's nothing that sounds like big and round like a T6 Texan.
And of course, it was a very, very popular trainer in World War II as people stepped out of the Stearman into the big T-6 Texan and then moved on to the larger airplanes too.
Well, she still does that. We encourage people to start in the Texan and then move and transition into the Mustang if that's where they're going with their education, their higher education, that is, because she's still the best teacher in town, without a doubt.
Thank you, KT. We really appreciate this. And we're so glad you could join us for our celebrating the 40th anniversary of Sun and Fun. And thank you for joining Florida Aviation Network. And I'm your host, Walt Schammel, and I'll see you on the next one.